Far away in the galaxy of the ice worlds lies the planet of Barogast, long forgotten and lost to the manipulations of man. However, unbeknownst to its previous occupants, there lies a relic of great value. Scouting forces of the Deathguard and Aeldari venture onto its surface in a bid to discover this hidden power. In a universe gripped by endless conflict, every faction vies for dominance. Each victory brings them closer to total power. Step into the chaos of war and death. Step into battlefields unleashed. An army of fleet-footed Aeldari go head-to-head with the plague-ridden force of Deathguard. Typhus, upon seeing the towering figure of a Wraith Lord, orders his small party to ready for battle. The Aeldari are quick to respond, forming defensive positions and ready to fight to the last in order to secure their findings. Both forces know that there can only be one of two outcomes: victory or death. Being able to corrupt their objectives gives the Deathguard some much-needed maneuverability, whereas the Aeldari's Farseer must remain on his home objective while supporting from afar. With both armies in position, Typhus orders his units to advance, declaring the start of battle. The footed bloat drones advance into the center phales. With a need to deploy teleport homers, Typhus orders it to try again. Moving to support the drone, Typhus, his Poxwalkers, and the Plague Marines also advance into cover by the center objective. The second footed bloat drone makes a daring advance into the open, challenging the Wraith Lord to expose itself. Was that a wise choice? Time will tell. And that ends turn 1 for the Deathguard, earning 3 points on deployed teleport homers and discarding the second objective for a command point. Now, time for the Aeldari to respond. The Farseer begins the turn by casting Fortune on his Wraith Lord, making it that much harder to stop. With Fortune on his side, the Wraith Lord has little to fear and moves to counter the footed bloat drone's advance. From the bottom of the battlefield, the Fire Dragons advance towards the center, taking advantage of their assault capabilities. Their new position puts both drones within range of their powerful weapons. The Shadow Spectres show off their movement capabilities by landing on the top objective marker. Meanwhile, the unit of 3 Wind Riders move up to support them against the tough infantry units of Deathguard. In the shooting phase, the Fire Dragons take aim at the center bloat drone, shooting it with everything they have. They bring it down to 2 wounds. It is then finished off by the shuriken cannons of the Wind Riders. With only the Poxwalkers in sight, the Shadow Spectres shoot down 6 of the Walking Dead. A Bright Lance scores 8 wounds against the remaining bloat drone. At the start of Battle Round 2, the Deathguard gains 5 victory points from their home objective and pick up some realistic secondaries. The Aeldari increase their score by 3 for completing Bring It Down. The Plague Marines move to occupy the center objective while Typhus and his Poxwalkers counter the top advance of the evasive Aeldari. The bloat drone moves into cover and onto the bottom objective marker, hoping to force the Aeldari to divide their forces. Typhus's Eater of Plague ability deals 4 mortal wounds to the Wind Riders. The malignant Plague Caster rolls multiple ones, and the unit does little against the Fire Dragons, killing only 2 of them. Overall, a weak turn for the Deathguard. They did manage to score 2 points on secondaries, however. The Aeldari start their turn with 5 points from primaries, and again place fortune on their Wraith Lord. Strategic advances of the Aeldari units sees them in advantageous positions to complete their secondaries, as well as take hold of new primaries. Taking shots from both a Wraith Lord and fire dragons, the Footed Bloat drone is quickly vaporized, and thus earning the Aeldari secondary points. The Shadow Spectres continue to mow down the Poxwalkers, leaving Typhus without his mindless bodyguards, and once again showcase their evasiveness by moving into cover after shooting. At the start of Battle Round 3, the Deathguard lead 20 points to 16. 2 more secondary objectives give Typhus and his men more opportunity to further their lead. The last Windrider crashes in a violent explosion of death. However, the Plague Marines once again fail to do little more than kill 2 fire dragons. Leaving the Wraith Lord unscathed could spell disaster in the coming turns. Luckily, they make up for their lack of ranged power by successfully charging into the final fire dragon, slaying him and taking the objective. The Deathguard complete one of their secondaries, gaining a valuable 3 victory points. The Farseer moves into the open ready to show his offensive capabilities. The Wraith Lord moves forward in a bid to steal the bottom objective from the Plague Marines, and the Shadow Spectres take the center objective. Luckily for the Plague Marines, they only lose 3 soldiers from the combined efforts of the Farseer, Wraith Lord, and Shadow Spectres. However, it's the charge from the Wraith Lord that causes considerable damage into the unit, killing another 4. At the start of Battle Round 4, the Deathguard earned 10 points for 2 primary objectives and 5 points for successfully defending their home objective, putting them on 35 points. Typhus advances towards the center and kills 3 Shadow Spectres. Meanwhile, the Plague Marines manage to wound the Wraith Lord 3 times, but suffer another 2 casualties in the riposte. At the start of the Aeldari's 4th turn, their lead begins to grow. Seeing that further fighting is futile, Typhus orders a retreat in hopes to destroy their enemy another day. The spoils of war go to the Aeldari, where they can continue to search for the relic uninterrupted, and once found, use it to end the threat of the Deathguard once and for all. Victory Aeldari. For more battle reports like this, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel.